how do you aim for global consistency in your company culture while allowing for localization based on country cultures? Rob, you started to talk about that in your multi-domestic description, but give us a little more color around that.
Sure. I think following the multi-domestic view, there's no question that there's a DNA in Hyatt that I can feel when I travel. It's carried by humans, it's transmitted by humans, and it's wonderful. But at the same time, we employ people in 47 different countries, tens of thousands of people who have very different, diverse, rich backgrounds. So while there is this common culture, we do encourage people to be culturally and locally relevant wherever they are, whether that's not just in the people, the colleagues that work in the hotels, but actually in the hotel itself, so that if you're in one of our hotels in China, we'll be celebrating something in China. If you're on Andaz Fifth Avenue in New York, you know that you're in New York and it's celebrating the neighborhood that it's in.
Gwen, how many countries is NetApp in?
Over 50. Yeah.
So how do you maintain just a broad culture but allow for the local relevance?
Clearly, as my colleagues said, there are absolutely local relevance. But the question is how do I take my values that are global and how do I ensure that we are honoring those in a local relevant way? So for example, there may be an orientation in another country that still talks about the values but really honors how they look at it and express it locally. But without that foundation, then it continues to have a separate meaning. And so we have to have one culture and recognize there are going to be some areas that we're going to localize it, but the overarching pieces are our values.
Matt?
So for us, the key is also core values. I mean, our core values that I ran through earlier, these are universal concepts. You know, no matter what country you're in, these are concepts that everyone understands everywhere and everyone applies everywhere. And so the idea is if you allow those core values, those universal concepts to drive business decision making, you can still honor and respect the local differences, the local cultures, and the local nuances.
How about at Belcorp, Maria?
It seems that values also. I was listening to Gwen and Matt, and I was thinking, oh my God, I'm the last one, I'm going to say the same thing. But I truly believe that it's the values that connect with a human being, connect with people. People know what it's authenticity and what is scary and what's to be entrepreneurial. And in every single country, when we developed, just to say, or we're looking for, okay, what's the purpose of Belcorp? We didn't do it top to bottom. We interviewed people, and in all the countries, and all employees were interviewed. Most of the employees were interviewed. They participated, and it was there. You know, they knew the purpose. The values were something that we already lived. Each other. There's a Belcorp way of doing things. There's a Belcorp way of relating. When you go to other countries, it's the same. You can feel it. Sometimes you don't know the people, right. But they live the values, and the values are the one single things that makes a culture sustainable and coherent.
Yeah, as Rob called it, it's the DNA.
It's the DNA
of the culture.